All right, welcome to the deep dive. We're the place you come to, well, cut through all that noise and get that crucial shortcut to really understanding complex stuff.
That's the goal, making the complex accessible.
Exactly. And today we're starting somewhere maybe a bit unexpected, a football pitch.
Ah, the beautiful game.
The beautiful game indeed. Picture it, the roar, the tension, and then you see him. Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima, R9.
A true legend. Unmistakable.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember watching him live, just glued to the screen, the way he moved, pure genius. And he had this signature move, didn't he? The leg feint.
Oh yeah, the pedalata. Iconic.
It was poetry in motion. He'd flicker his leg over the ball right, making you think, okay, he's going left. Definitely left.
And the defender buys it. Hook, line, and sinker. Leans that way.
And boom, R9 explodes right, leaves the defender looking, well, a bit silly, frankly.
Completely wrong-footed. It wasn't just a trick, though. That's the key.
No, not at all. Christian Lisangola, who wrote our main piece for today, he calls it an art of distraction, a subtle manipulation of perception.
That's exactly it. It's psychological. R9 wasn't just faking a direction. He was messing with the defender's head, playing on their training, their instincts.
Making them commit based on totally false information.
Right. And in that split second, he creates the space he needs. It's about controlling their decision-making. Misdirection 101, but at the highest level.
It's brilliant on the pitch, but Lisangola makes this really powerful, maybe even chilling connection, doesn't he?
He does. He sees that same dynamic, that same principle of misdirection playing out on a much larger scale.
And that's our deep dive for today. We're taking this sports metaphor, the leg feint, and applying it to post-colonial education systems.
Specifically focusing on the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC, as a really potent case study.
Our main source is Christian Lisangola's blog post, The Leg Feint, a metaphor for the post-colonial educational system. It's recent, from December 2024.
And he's building on some heavy hitters here. Thinkers like Akili Mbembe, Joseph Kizerbo,
Samir Amin, Paulo Freire, Thomas Sankara, giants in understanding post-colonialism and education's role in it.
Yeah, so our mission today isn't just to, point out a problem. It's to really unpack how an education system, one that looks good on paper.
Right. Talking about general knowledge, international openness, all positive stuff.
How that system can actually work as a subtle, almost hidden mechanism of cognitive control, like that leg feint, diverting a whole nation's focus.
We want to look at where it came from, its real-world consequences, and crucially, maybe how we can move past it towards something genuinely empowering.
Towards a different kind of education entirely.
So why should you listening care about this? Well, understanding these hidden dynamics helps you critique any education system, maybe even your own.
It forces you to question those buzzwords like quality and openness. What do they really mean in practice?
And it helps us imagine what truly liberating education looks like, not just for the DRC, but for any society trying to navigate, global pressures and its own history, learning to spot the feint, basically.
Spot the feint, see the real goal.
Okay, so let's dig a bit deeper into the feint itself. R9's move, it's tactically brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. It disorients even the best defenders. People trained for years to read body language.
He just short-circuits their training, doesn't he? That leg over the ball, it's such a strong signal, go left.
And they react instinctively. That micropause, that slight shift of weight. That's all he needs.
Buys him time, creates space, opens the door for the real move. It's pure deception, but like elegant deception.
And the psychology is fascinating. He's exploiting assumptions. He knows what the defender expects, what they're trained to see, and he uses it against them.
It's not just physical prowess, it's a mental victory, making them commit to a ghost.
Exactly. Committing resources, focus, energy to counter something that isn't the real threat. Now think about that principle.
Diversion.
Misdirection.
Right. How could that apply beyond sports? How could a whole system, social, political, economic, seem to be doing one thing?
Like educating its citizens.
While actually achieving something else entirely, something maybe less obvious, less beneficial for those citizens. How can you feint an entire society? And that's where Lisangola has this troubling realization, as he calls it, about education in the DRC.
He saw the leg feint playing out right there in his own schooling.
Yeah, he tells this story about being in secondary school. He's trying to understand the geography of his own country, the DRC, massive place, incredibly rich in resources.
Strategic minerals, everything. Hugely important globally.
Right. And he's struggling to get a grip on it, his own homeland. But at the same time...
Let me guess. He knew all about Europe.
Exactly. He says he spent hours studying in detail the geography of the European Union, memorizing capitals of distant countries. His own country became terra incognita, unknown land.
Wow, that contrast is, well, it's damning, isn't it?
It really highlights the diversion, doesn't it? Like being taught the intricate details of someone else's house while you don't even know the layout of your own.
And Lisa Angola's point is crucial. This isn't just, bad curriculum design or some teacher's oversight.
He calls it a strategically effective leg feint.
Right. He suggests the curricula were, and maybe still are, designed to divert attention away from the immediate reality.
To distance students from truths about their identity, their resources, their actual place in the world.
So instead of deeply understanding the economic or political issues shaping their own future,
they get this distorted view of the world, as he puts it, focused outward, not inward.
it's cognitive misdirection on a national level, draining the brightest minds to look everywhere but home.
It really does make you pause, doesn't it? And think about your own education. What stories were central? What perspectives were prioritized?
What was implicitly deemed important knowledge and what was maybe quietly left aside.
Yeah. It's not just about what you learn, but maybe what you're subtly steered away from learning. That distorted view idea is powerful.
And it has real consequences for how people see their own potential and their nation's potential.
Okay, so this connects directly to the work of Akili Membe, the Cameroonian philosopher.
Right, and Mbembe's work on post-colonialism is essential here. He talks about how power operates differently now.
Not just brute force, like old school colonialism.
Exactly. It's shifted. It's more subtle now, operating through mechanisms controlling consciousness itself.
Shaping how we think, what we value, even what questions we think are worth asking. It's insidious.
It is. And this inherited educational system, Lisa Ngola argues, it's a perfect example of Mbembe's point.
On the surface, it looks great. General knowledge, openness to the world. Who argues with that?
Seems totally benign, even progressive. But underneath, he says, it creates this profound form of cognitive alienation.
Alienation from your own reality.
Precisely. Lisa Ngola gives that stark example. Congolese students graduating knowing more about, say, the European Central Bank.
Then about the potential of the cobalt mines down the road or the agricultural possibilities in their own region.
Yeah. It's not just missing information. It's a fundamental rerouting of intellectual energy away from where it's arguably most needed.
Becoming experts on other people's contexts.
While your own context remains poorly understood, maybe even devalued.
That's a deeply troubling outcome. But okay, if it's so problematic, how does this system keep going? How does it maintain this appearance of being good, of being quality?
Well, that's the insidious genius of it, isn't it? It operates under the guise of those very positive terms.
Educational quality, international openness.
Exactly. These are concepts everyone nods along to. They sound progressive, necessary for the modern world, promoted by global bodies, embraced by local elites.
So by framing the outward focus in these terms, the system legitimizes itself.
Right. It makes the diversions seem like progress. Like, of course we need global standards. Of course we need to be open to the world.
It makes looking away from local realities seem like the smart, modern thing to do.
It's like R9 doing the feint over and over. Eventually, the defender starts to think the feint is the real move. The distraction becomes the perceived reality.
You start to believe the illusion is the path forward.
And this is where someone like Joseph Kizerbo comes in. His book, Educate or Perish, it's foundational.
A historian, politician from Burkina Faso, what was his core argument?
Kizerbo insisted that education in Africa needed a total rethink. It shouldn't be just transferring knowledge, especially foreign knowledge.
Not just pouring information into students' heads.
No, he saw it as needing to be an essential tool for liberation, and critically, for endogenous development.
Endogenous, meaning development coming from within.
Exactly. Rooted in your own history, culture, resources, aspirations, not just copying external models.
But the current system, as Lisa Ngola describes it,
It does the opposite. It keeps diverting attention away from those endogenous possibilities. It keeps the focus external, like the defender watching the feint, not the player.
focusing energy on the illusion, not the reality.
It feels so reasonable on the surface, though, doesn't it? Who doesn't want international standards?
It makes you think, listening to this, how often do we hear those phrases? Global best practices. In education, in business, everywhere.
All the time.
And you have to ask, what are you maybe sacrificing when you just accept those frameworks without digging deeper, without asking if they truly fit your local needs, your context?
What unique local knowledge, what internal potential gets pushed aside in the name of fitting some generic global mold?
That's a crucial question, which leads us to the consequences. If this educational leg feint is real, what damage does it actually do?
Well, the impacts are. They're huge. They ripple through everything. Profoundly debilitating, really.
Lisangola argues it trains whole generations who, yeah, they have diplomas, they've done the work.
But they lack a functional grasp of their own country's strategic position.
Yeah.
Its real issues, its real potential.
He calls it strategic ignorance. It sounds harsh, but
But let's break it down. What does that actually mean? It means not really knowing the map of your own national resources. Where is the wealth? What is it?
not understanding the potential value chains. How could we process the stuff here, create jobs here, instead of just shipping raw materials out?
Exactly. And not grasping the geopolitics around those resources. Who wants them? Why? What deals are being made? Who benefits?
It's like being captain of a ship but having no idea what cargo you're carrying, where the ports are, or who controls the shipping lanes.
Precisely. And this ignorance, Lisangola argues, creates a vicious cycle. The lack of internal knowledge makes it easier for external actors to maintain control, to continue exploitation.
Because the people who should be managing the resources, negotiating the deals, charting the future, they don't have the necessary insight.
How can you assert sovereignty or build real prosperity if your educated class is effectively blindfolded to the nation's core assets and challenges?
It guarantees dependency, almost.
And the chilling part, again, is the suggestion that this isn't just some unfortunate
And
accident.
not just drift or incompetence.
No. Lisa Ngola and others, like Samir Amin, hint that this is a kind of organized ignorance. A system structured, perhaps implicitly, perhaps explicitly over time, to produce this outcome.
Organized ignorance, that's a powerful phrase. It suggests multinational companies, foreign powers. They can maintain their grip without needing soldiers?
Right. Not through direct colonial force, but through this subtler domination, keeping the population, especially the educated elite, ignorant of their own strategic position.
It's the leg feint again. Distract them with global standards while you control the real game, the resources.
Samir Amin, the economist, his work on unequal development is key here. He argued this isn't coincidence.
He saw it as a system consciously maintained.
Yes, consciously put in place or perpetuated to keep societies, especially in the global south, in a state of economic and intellectual inertia, unable to effectively challenge the dominant global structures.
Because the educational system itself disarms them intellectually, diverts their energy.
Exactly. By focusing minds away from local realities towards external models and priorities, you create a populace less equipped to analyze exploitation or harness their own potential for their own benefit.
Wow. You think about the long-term impact. Generations of bright minds diverted. What does that do to local innovation?
Stifles it, surely. If the problems aren't seen, how can solutions be developed?
What about self-sufficiency, national pride, the belief that we can solve our own problems, build our own future?
It erodes all of that. If the education system constantly tells you implicitly that the important knowledge and solutions come from outside, it undermines that internal confidence and capability.
So if this is the deep systemic problem, the solution can't be superficial, can it?
Absolutely not. Just tweaking the edges won't cut it. It demands a radical rethink.
Okay, so if we accept this idea of the educational leg feint and its really damaging consequences, what's the way out? Lisangola and the others are clear. Tinkering isn't enough.
No, you can't just, add a course on local geography and call it a day. It needs a complete reinvention of the whole approach.
Starting with rethinking the fundamental purpose of education itself. Why do we have it? Who is it really meant to serve?
Is it about producing cogs for a global machine? Or is it about empowering citizens to build their own nation? That's the core question.
And Lisangola says the first practical step is a massive, honest assessment.
Right. A deep dive into national resources and potential, not just listing minerals on a spreadsheet.
No, understanding how they fit into a long-term vision for development, defined by the nation itself.
Imagine mapping everything, resources, agriculture, culture, human capital, and asking, how can we leverage this? What's our unique path?
So you build the education system based on that internal assessment and vision.
Exactly. Imagine curricula where local geology, resource management, value-added processing, the specific history and geopolitics of your region. That's the core.
Not just an elective, but central to everything, from primary school up.
That would be truly transformative. Education becoming a core national strategy, not just a service sector.
Aligned with a clear societal project, a 50-year plan, maybe more.
Yeah, developing programs that teach students not just what resources they have, but how to transform them locally, creating value here.
Training entrepreneurs who see opportunities at home, innovators solving local problems, thinkers shaping a future based on internal strengths.
It flips the script entirely.
Yeah.
From passive reception of outside knowledge.
To active, localized future building. Education as an engine for self-determination.
Building autonomy, real prosperity, not just dependence disguised as global integration.
Really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What if your education system was explicitly designed for a 50 or 100-year national vision?
Instead of just reacting to trends or using borrowed models.
What kind of citizens would that produce? People deeply understanding their own context, empowered to shape it.
But getting there, it's more than just changing textbooks. It's about the whole philosophy of learning.
Right. It goes way beyond just tweaking quality metrics. This is where Paulo Freire's work is so critical, pedagogy of the oppressed.
A game changer. Freire was crystal clear. Education should be for emancipation, not domestication.
Emancipation versus domestication. Let's unpack that. It's crucial.
Emancipation empowers people to think critically, to understand their reality, and to act to transform it. It builds agency.
Domestication. That sounds, well, much more passive.
It is. It molds people to fit into the existing system, even if that system is unjust or oppressive. It discourages questioning, reinforces the status quo, keeps people in their place, essentially.
So a truly transformative education needs a different philosophy, not the banking concept Freire criticized.
Where teachers just deposit knowledge into passive students, no. It needs to be problem-posing, dialogic, students and teachers exploring their world together critically.
Which means rethinking everything, curricula content, teacher training,
Yeah.
and fundamentally the purpose of the system. Is it control or liberation?
That's the stark choice. Are we educating people to serve the current order or to build a new one?
That's a huge undertaking, especially against likely resistance from those benefiting from the current system. So what guides that kind of massive change? What's the North Star?
According to Lee Sangola, it has to be that clear long-term vision. National development over 50, 100 years.
Thinking multi-generationally, not just election cycles or 5-year plans.
Right. Asking those deep questions. What are our real comparative advantages? Culture, resources, people. How do we leverage our strengths sustainably for our benefit?
What specific skills, what knowledge, what mindset do our people need to achieve that vision?
Those questions, rooted in self-assessment and self-defined goals, that's what should shape education, not imported models that don't fit.
Moving from reactive to proactive, designing education for a specific, self-determined future, an African future built by Africans for Africans.
It's about reclaiming the narrative, defining success on your own terms.
So thinking about your own situation, how could education better prepare you for the specific challenges and opportunities right where you are?
Instead of just preparing you for some generic global marketplace that might not even serve your community's needs.
Designing a future from within. That's the goal.
And that's how you counter the leg feint, by focusing on your own game plan.
Okay, let's bring it back to the pitch for the wrap-up. That image of the leg feint is powerful.
It really sticks with you.
Just like a smart defender learns to read the game, anticipate the feint, see past the trick, societies need to learn to see these educational feints.
Recognize the misdirection that holds back development.
And reframe education, not as a tool for distraction or subtle control,
but as a powerful engine for empowerment, for development defined from within, based on self-knowledge, self-reliance.
And the thinkers we've touched on, Mbembe on cognitive control, Kizerbo on endogenous development, Amin on organized ignorance, Freire on emancipation.
They all point towards this. They give us the tools not just to critique the problem, but to imagine and build the solution.
And we should end with Thomas Sankar's words. Powerful stuff.
We must accept living African.
In this context, what does that mean? It means building education systems that answer our needs, value our resources, cherish our cultures.
Systems that prepare young people for the specific challenges and opportunities on this continent, celebrating who we are, where we are.
It's about shifting the whole narrative, isn't it?
Completely. Turning that leg feint, that tool of domination, into a determined sprint towards our own development. On our own terms.
That's the real challenge and the real opportunity. Moving from just accepting things as they are.
To actively engaging, collectively building our future. With pride, with intellectual independence, with determination.
So the final thought for you, listening.
Mm.
How can you start to spot the subtle leg feints in the information around you, in the narratives you hear?
And how can you contribute, even in small ways, to fostering an education for yourself, for others that truly empowers rather than just distracts?
Something to think about, a path worth exploring.